What's up? What's up? What's up? It's the MVP. It's the MVP. My game in the building. It's the MVP. We got a Leah in the building. Mr. Make It Happen. It's the MVP.
Hey y'all.
It's the MVP. All day long.
Hey y'all.
It's the MVP.
Hey y'all.
It's the MK.
What's up? What's up? What's up? This is the Ketchup podcast, episode 54. Let's get ready to rumble. Before I introduce everybody, make sure you go out there, click, subscribe, hit the bell, do all those things. Support us, please. And we out here trying to make sure that y'all are entertained, having a good time. We got that out of the way. This is your host, Lofton, aka Mr. Hayes Adonis, and I got my co-host Rajim in the building.
Man, Mr. Make It Happen all day long. Let's go.
And you know, down below, we always got the international correspondent, the perspective, Leah in the building.
Hey y'all.
And of course, go ahead, Rajin.
Hey, man, look, I've been trying to make this happen for a long time. Long time friend of mine, 10 years. Oh my God. And when I say I could put accolades on this lady's name for about the next hour, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm boxing correspondent, just CPA, just realtor, just name it. She got accolades all day long. Hey, y'all make a warm welcome for my girl Sakura in the house. Let's go.
What's up, guys?
Let's go. In the building. Let's go. Welcome. Oh my God. Hey, look, I've been trying to make this happen for a minute, man, for real. So we glad to have you. We got to have some fun. We're going to talk music, boxing, everything. If anybody know about boxing, it's going to be her, man. Let's go.
Getting it done. So first off, we got to say, man, how was your week, Roz? How was the week, man?
Hey, man, look, honestly, bro, Prime happened, like Prime Day was like last week or Monday or something like that. So
Tuesday, Wednesday.
So listen, so I went and bought new step sides for my truck. I'm like, okay, they don't sell, boom, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna fix it up my truck. So yesterday, I called myself, I'm gonna change my step size, right? Mm-hmm. When I decided to change my step size, it took me about 6 hours, all right? Because you know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember back in the day when I was a kid, I was a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic no more. So anyway, on top of me changing the step size of my truck, so then, like, my truck, I went somewhere and I blew like the radiator hose or something. So I had to go buy a radiator hose, which cost me $200. And then I had to put a radiator hose on my truck.
There you go.
Bro, it just don't stop. So today I put a radiator hose on the truck. Yesterday was step size, and I'm still walking.
And now you're tired.
That's by the way.
Hey, getting things done out
here.
Hey,
but that's what Mr. Make It Happen.
Hey, you made it happen.
That's what I do.
But you got it done. So that's what all.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all
they call.
So Aaliyah, tomorrow birthday girl, early birthday, happy birthday.
Hey y'all.
So you know what I mean? So happy birthday. Before birthday girl. How was your week? How your week been going?
I'm exhausted.
I'm not even exhausted. You just exhausted.
I've been going nonstop since like the 1st of June. And I'm telling you, I'm out of town this weekend on Thursday or Friday. I think I fly out Friday. Then I come home. I'm home 3 days and then I'm out again to Mexico. I'm this week.
So look, this self-inflicted wounds. These ain't these self-inflicted. These ain't even
like legit, I had been out. I did get some groceries earlier today, and I put most of the stuff away. I still got to, make room for my staples. But at the end of the day, like I had been out to breakfast, out to lunch, out to dinner, out to brunch, out to dinner, out to happy hour. And I'm just like, maybe I should enjoy the motherfucking apartment that I pay rent for.
Yeah. How about that? Let's talk about that real quick. How about you live where you live at?
As an update, I'm still not unpacked. I did get a couch, but
how many boxes you got unpacked since then? 1, 2. We can't rise.
No comment.
Yeah, we can't rise. Go ahead.
And then had a nerve to be shopping during Amazon Prime Day, and it's about 50 boxes right here for some this for half of it is for a party for next month and a catering gig I got next month and I'm just busy.
You're just a busy lady.
You
Out
miss it,
there
making it happen.
Miss
living the life. Yeah, miss making it happen, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Doing a thing. So
Miss Busy.
the busybody. All right. So Sakura, how has your week been?
Oh, my week is awesome. I mean, I'm on the other end of what Layla's going through right now because we had like
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, I'm sorry.
Hey,
Like,
you can be
it
Layla.
was
That's
like a
cool.
big weekend.
Yeah, that's my daughter name, Layla.
Layla, yes, that's where I get it from, probably. But so sorry. We just had the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame weekend, and it was like, started with a fight night and ended with an induction ceremony. And I was there working. I was a presenter, and it was a lot of things going on with social media and things that we have to be responsible for as a company. So now I'm on like zero. Like, don't bother me before 1 o'clock now. I'm like not trying to hear you. I'm already not a morning person. Ray, you can speak to that. You know damn well, like I've never been a morning person. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm on Musa mode.
That's
And
what's up.
you just got to catch me at the right time now, because like now I'm like looking at my phone like it ain't urgent. It's not urgent.
There you go. That's for sure. Later. Yeah, for sure. Right. You put that on the what? You put that on that let them phone calls pass on by. Leave a message if it's important. You know,
I do that anyway. I don't even be busy. So whatever.
I'm like, I gotta get my rest right now, so I can.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just trying to rejuvenate from that, because
just follow your social media alone. I'm like, man, she always doing something. Like, you always, and you in the mix of it too. I'm talking about like you always in the mix of it. I'm like, oh, I know that person. Oh, I know that person. Oh, I don't know that person. I'm like, man.
No, you need to be quiet, because I be right over there in Orlando, and I put out my little fillers. I say, hey, I'm gonna be here in Orlando. A lot of times I'll be at the Caribe Royale resort over there off International Drive, and there's a lot of boxing going on at that particular venue now. So you could be like meeting up at one of these events to holla.
And I am, and I'm sorry.
He's making it happen. That's why he can't come.
I'll be like, listen, between coaching football, between working, being a grandpa, being a husband, I'll just be doing too much, man.
And you forgot the main piece, which is the traffic over there. It's like,
oh
when I get to that resort, I am not trying to move or meet anybody anywhere. I'm like, look, you know where I'm at.
You don't miss Orlando. You know you was in Windermere where the big dogs live at.
I mean, that may be true, but I don't miss Windermere. I don't miss Orlando. I don't miss that traffic. I
know the area. My cousin lived out.
Windermere is where Shaq and Tiger Woods and them live at. That's where she was at. Big.
Yep. That's what
I remember. I remember like it was yesterday, because I remember I helped you move. I'm like, God, this is what we're doing.
Like a couple of stairs. That's all. Just a couple.
A
couple big spiral stairs.
But that's how it is. Well, good stuff. Everybody's having a fantastic week out here. So, and if you're not having a good week, or if you're having a good week, so either it's going to be a celebratory drink, or it's going to be something to get you ready for the week. We're going to get back into my favorite and yours, the drink of the day.
Boom, let's go. Yeah.
Drink of the day. All right, so everybody out there, you know what's up. I threw it out on the social medias. I went ahead and did a little flip of the Tom Collins out there. So we did the mint ketchup Tom Collins. So I got my Tom Collins right now. Go hit the video. A little gin in there, a little sugar, throw some lemon in that joint. I made it a little ghetto, make it the mint ketchup joint. I stole one of the kids' little fruit cups. That was my garnish. Threw that in there. Threw some ice on that boy. You know what I'm saying? It's out here tasting good. Got a little sparkling water I threw on top of that with a little orange. So it went along with the garnish. Got a little flavor to it. So I'm going to go ahead and pour mine out there. Go ahead. Make sure y'all hit up that mint ketchup Facebook, social media out there. I threw the video out there so y'all can learn how to make the mint ketchup Tom Collins. Bam. Go ahead, Roz. What you got?
Excuse me. First of all, it's not really ghetto if it don't have no Kool-Aid in it.
I'm saying
that'll be my next. Oh, look,
really
I already got my. I mean, look, if you don't think stealing your kids' fruit cups is ghetto, I mean, I'm pretty sure that feels ghetto to me. If you stealing your kids' lunch to eat your lunch, I think that's
what no Kool-Aid in it. Hey, so listen. So this week I made what I call the sour apple smash, right? And Aaliyah, chill out, calm down. So listen.
I'm trying to open up.
Look, what I did was look what I did. Check me out. You know what I'm saying? So I took my apple crown. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Okay. I go with the apple crown. I like the apple crown. I'm being crisp this summer. You know what I'm saying? A little Christmas this summer. So what I did was I dropped some lime juice off in that joint, right? You know what I'm saying? Only an ounce, Aaliyah. An ounce of lime juice. Because I need a sour. But then, look, but to break up the monotony and everything, I take a little bit of that grenadine. You know what I'm saying? On a splash. Little splash, boom. And then look, drop the cherry in it. Boom. Sour apple smash, Aaliyah. Call somebody, know somebody all day long. What you say?
I said, hell, I reckon. But okay. That's what you doing. More power to you. Cheers.
Hey, it tastes like a Sour Patch Kid.
Let's go. All right, then. Well, our local bartender, what you got? What you got for us, Aaliyah?
Well, if y'all see my little copper drink,
that seems like a mule.
Yeah, it is a blackberry Moscow mule today. Yeah, I had to muddle some blackberries.
Sweet
fancy.
About like I don't because this is a drink for myself and I'm not in the bar. I actually poured me a nice little corner of some vodka in here. I personally prefer the Kettle One vodka over there. So I got Kettle One here, a lot of ice, and I topped it off with Reed's ginger beer, extra ginger.
Okay.
Like it a little spicy. And this is good to me. And followed up by some coconut water for hydration. Cause tomorrow's birthday. There's gonna be a lot of pictures, I think. So
I got the water. I got the water as a backup as well.
So
y'all are too fancy for me, okay?
Hey, so Shakira, what did you bring to the table? You just hydrating, or you got you some sleeping water, some sleeping tea?
I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. I'm gonna put it to you like it's crystal damn clear.
Oh, is it smart though?
Right.
And then what he say? Jason's lightning, baby.
What is it again? What?
I have a lightning specialist. All the time.
Was that the white lightning?
Because that's what I was thinking.
That's right. It's straight. Listen, it's clear.
Okay.
Hey, let me tell you, the last time I had some white lightning, I felt every vein in my body. Literally, I was.
You about to be
something like that. You gotta be careful.
I'm right there with you. I love corn liquor. I personally prefer Carolina or Tennessee corn liquor.
Well, we got Florida here, baby. This is Florida. This is homebred Floridian.
Although
I am from North Carolina, so I know a little bit about that's.
I'm telling you, that's it right here. So
this gonna be a good show.
I mean, I mix it with something now. I ain't no fool, but I ain't no fool. But at the same time, what I'm telling you is that you got to start with some pure ingredients.
Man,
you know, you getting the real deal here.
You can cure everything with white lightning.
I don't know. It's more expensive, but it ain't no seconds. It's no seconds necessary whatsoever.
No. One hit a kid.
One hit a quitter.
No doubt. Well, everybody, drinking a day. everybody that's out there, make sure if you listen in the car, don't have the drink of the day. You should be driving safe. Why not? Listen, stop and listen to us. Or if you're watching this on video, man, have a drink with the day. BYOB, bring your own with her. I would say cheers to everybody on the podcast. Cheers to everybody that's out there. Fantastic. All right. So now we moving on to the news of the week. So we got some news that was out there. I'll try to make it interesting. I try to give a little something. I got a few little things that are up here. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this news up and we're gonna see what we got popping off today. So news of the week. First one. Lil Baby, I saw a little thing, Lil Baby. Since this is a, we try to do the culture, a little hip hop, a little everything. But we started out with the music. Lil Baby believes female rappers are currently running the rap game, right? And I was sat back and thought, I listened to a few female rappers, like after reading this article and seeing what he was talking about. I ended up finding the Revolt top 10 female artists that are running things right now or standing out right now. They had some names that I hadn't heard of, so I looked up some of their stuff. And I wanted to see, what do you think is causing female rappers to stand out more than some of the male rappers, right? We got Kendrick Lamar, we got Drake, some people would say Future. You got some people, I like 2 Chainz out there. He be doing his thing. Like, you got some of those that are kind of names that you can know and understand. And then you just got a whole bunch of others that sound alike. But the females are the ones that are kind of standing out. What, Rajin, what do you see as female artists? What do you think makes them stand out more than their male counterparts right now in the hip hop game?
I mean, honestly, real talk, man, I feel like female rappers are bringing it right now. You know what I'm saying? They bringing it. I mean, hip hop has always been about entertainment. And they're bringing that entertainment. Like a lot of times, if you at a party or if you in your car, you vibing out by yourself, you want to vibe out. You know what I'm saying? You don't always want to hear about who's selling dope, who shot who. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So you just saying you want, like, sometimes you want to vibe out. Now, granted, you know what I'm saying? As when you real, you don't want to put up to the light, up to the Glorilla and do the next. You know what I'm saying? FREE. You know what I'm saying? You can't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? If you're a dude. But I will say a lot of
it could be a different description of fuck nigga free, but you good. I mean, you be like, oh, deal with this ass, bust ass nigga. I mean, you good.
Right.
I don't know.
Real talk. I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm like right now the females bringing it in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? They definitely bringing it in the game. Entertainment wise, I mean, it's entertainment. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? You got anybody from Cardi B to, like I said, Big Lotto, what is it, Meg Stallion, Erica Banks, all these females bringing it right now. I mean, they stepping up, and I will say this before I pass it on, but I will say a lot of times, if you think about it, there wasn't a lot of females in the game for a long time. I mean, who you had? You had Lil' Kim, you had Foxy, you had Missy Elliott, a couple others or whatever, but you nearly never had nobody that was dominant.
Was there?
Huh?
I mean,
no, Aaliyah gave me the face, and I was like, she was there? Like, dang.
I'm just saying, like what? Are you, Aaliyah, you the rapper? My bad.
She said, Remy Ma, nah. That's what
I mean, Remy Ma too. I will say Remy Ma.
I was gonna say similar though. I was thinking like there just been such a lack of diversity amongst females that now it's like, now that it's a few of them out at the same time and their numbers are doing well, they're gonna keep pushing that. A true story, at our Hall of Fame boxing event the other week, we had like a male artist that's local come in. He has a song with Little Bootsy out, and then we had this female chick. Her name is Sasha Blanco. So I'm thinking everybody's gonna be feeling this Bootsy hit, with this guy. And the feedback that we received afterwards is like, oh, we love Sasha Blanco.
And I think I heard of Sasha Blanco, matter of fact.
Our testimony, which is a true testament that these women, there's some talented women out here, and they're starting to really listen to the fact that it's more into it than just being a pretty face or wearing scandally, clothing and shit like that. These women
I ain't seen no ugly mugs that can buzz. I seen some ugly dudes that can flow and be rich, but I ain't seen no ugly chick that ain't wearing a G-string and ain't got their chest out that's making money.
What's that chick? What's the new chick?
Nicki Minaj left a big lane open, when she wanted to, have her family time and have her kids. She left that lane open, and these girls was like, "Hey, it's now or never. We got to jump on it now." To get our face in the game while she's sleeping, pretty much.
Right.
And that's what they did. And so now everybody's like on to a couple of different artists. So I'm like, shout out to them, and I'm glad to see some different looks from females besides just the cookie cutter type, rapper that we had in previous generations.
And
all right, Leah, go ahead.
I'm saying, I will agree. Like you said, there was only you think about women's rap of the 80s and 90s, and you had Queen Latifah, MC Light, and
Boss. You remember Boss?
No.
I remember.
I had her album.
There was a specific type, and then Salt and Pepper came on the scene. They was different. And, that type, and then you had a group that was like Salt and Pepper. Then they, then it was. All I'm saying, I said all that to say is right now, I think what's happening on rap in general, you have a lot of different artists who do not all sound the same, who do not all have the same look, who do not all, as they say, rap about the same shit. I mean, to me, all rap. I mean, what can you rap about that's not your life? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's you wanting to be. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you was like, they came on the scene. But yes, if you think about it, there's not really a lot of male artists who are, as they say, who are up and coming. And when I mean up and coming, I mean people who aren't already have an album out, or somebody who hasn't already gone platinum, or you know what I mean? You have, even like you said Drake and Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, all of them are multi-platinum selling artists. None of these females are. They are literally up and coming. And if they do have a platinum album, I don't know, because I don't really be listening to radio or television, so I won't know that. But but they are a good sound. They are a good look. People dig them, and it's their music is not Foxy Brown and
I have a different. I got a different perspective on it. Right? So I feel like women are female rappers are running the game more due to the fact that most of their hits, most of the female rapper hits that you hear that come out, they are more like the original hip hop kind of setup, right? So you have a lot of the rappers that are out now are off of the laptop sounds, drilly, no samples. Female artists, which is the staple of hip hop, is sampling. A lot of those artists, the female artists that come in that have hits, no different than Nicki Minaj, Lotto, freaking all them, their hits were off of sampled songs, which everybody goes damn, I love that song. So you got all the people that grew up in the 90s, you got the white people that like hip hop, all that other stuff. They hitting those sample joints. Their joints are sampled songs that they redo the beat, producer puts it out, and then you got a female on a song that everybody knows that's been sampled, and you're like, oh, that's the regular hip hop. So I think you hear more of the male rappers are now coming out with the drilly stuff that has no samples, and they're just doing that stuff, booty shaking, whatever, and it has no samples. A lot of the songs that hit female rapper wise are ones that have the samples, and they're in the original style of hip hop, where it's hey, let's pull the sample, we change the beat up, and now we about to we give you this different style. No different than what Nicki Minaj just came out with the Barbie joint for the movie. It was the little that had the sample from this the Barbie world. It's a Barbie, and they had that in the background. And it's people know that song, and they're okay, that's not people roll with it because of the sample. And I think females are way more open to doing that and it becoming a hit than some of the rappers that come out now that we be I don't even like that dude because they all sound the same. Nobody samples nothing.
That's the real issue right there. That's the issue with the males right now. It's you feel like you hear an artist and you're what the hell is this? Like, is this even considered rapping right now?
Yeah, because they talk about the same thing.
No, it's the lack of them. I mean, it's kind of like boxing, right? It's like last year was the year of the females in boxing because the men weren't really giving us great matchups. But the women were fighting each other and they were fighting the best. So they kind of took over and they was making the men look bad. So this year, what do we have in return? Like now they're like, oh, we did look kind of bad last year. You know, now we're going to have Spence versus Crawford, mega fight. We had Javante Tank Davis this year versus Ryan Garcia, which was also a fight that people wanted to see last year. Like, so there basically it's the same thing where the trend is like, you guys slept. Okay, you're not putting out the most amazing music sounds right now, and these women are. But just to say, yeah, they have samples on their music. A lot of these females, just the first song is to get you to recognize and know us, know the chicks, right? But then they got other hits. They got other music that people are actually wanting to listen to, wanting to feel because I can understand the lyrics of a you know, somebody like Lotto, or I can hear what they're saying. I can't understand what the hell some of these men are saying. And I don't want to sound like I'm too old or anything, but I do like it when these lyrics are something where I can actually, you know, think about thought provoking. You know, a Kendrick Lamar, somebody like that, you don't fall in that lane. But there's a lot of garbage out here too. Let's just be frank.
Yeah, because they put no work into it.
Yeah.
They put no work. So,
very
hey, you remember when we was in the studio, like when we was in the studio, we're doing music. Literally, I mean, I would be at work writing, like trying to, you know what I'm saying? And if it didn't sound good, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't come with it. It wasn't we wasn't putting out garbage. And it's as an artist because we feel like there's like these days there are no, I'm not gonna say no more, but there are very few artists that people that we can call artists. It's one thing that you can easily you can put a puzzle together. You can put words together that rhyme. That don't mean you're an artist. You know, you can put words together that rhyme over a really nice beat. You know what I'm saying? What makes it a good song. You know, I just heard this song by Lil Uzi Vert, I Wanna Rock or whatever. That song has no words to it.
It don't.
Let me tell you something. Don't you come for my Philly cousins, okay?
Whatever.
But that
he has no words to this song, but the beat is what got him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But so exactly, and I will say this: if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, to me, after that song is just like, what the did he just say? But I will say, these damn kids here in Philly, that is like their damn anthem out here. They out here rocking. They doing everything you can think. But I think with parents who hear that song, who we don't hear something inherently bad. You know what I mean? You don't hear shooting and killing, selling drugs, dope, and all of this other stuff. But you hear what we heard when we was listening to Two Live Crew and all the other people back in the day. Like we just hear party music. You know what I mean? That's what the kids hear. They like it. They love it. I mean, if your kids can sit and listen to, I don't know what the hell that little boy say. Time.
He be on some other stuff.
But them little kids be having a damn good time out there. I can commend that. But everything else, I'm good.
Yeah. So I mean, getting back to like I mean, I feel like, you know, like you lady said, you know, women have taken advantage of the avenues and also the access where, you know, they can put out something. Just like reason that there's a flood of artists now is just because of internet access. So it's the same type of thing that it works for female artists as well. Having the internet access to be able to put their stuff out, be able to be seen faster and faster, sooner and sooner. And then it's one of those things that now the industry is very fast to jump on you and say, hey, sign you real quick and we can just churn you out. The unfortunate part about it is that you just get burnt out. And then if you ain't got nothing else to follow that, like if you really look at it, like Lotto, she has something else to follow. You have Nicki Minaj has something else. Has Meg Thee Stallion came out with a second album? Okay, so we made
so she haven't had time.
Look, I'm just saying. Look, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying I'm just saying.
Called
There's
Nine
a
Toes Down.
possibility. Just like a male artist, there's a possibility just like an artist.
Her next album called Nine Toes Down.
That Meg is about to be.
Yeah.
Meg is about to get most of the money from the you know what I'm saying, OnlyFans. I don't know. Just like what's old girl?
She can't be on feetfetish.com.
Rilla, she, you know,
she started acting and she started her modeling career with it Maybelline, Revlon, one of the two. So I mean, but to me, it's one of those things where we're going to grab you while you hot, make your money while you hot. But like you said, you doing all of this, you doing all this, you get spun all the way up, and then what? What's your part two?
But are you? That's what I'm saying. Are you an artist, or do you just want to be famous? That's one of those things, like, because you can be famous and like it'd be like Megan Thee Stallion could never come out with an album again and become an actress, and then you'd be like, well, she really wasn't a musician. She wanted to actually act, and this was an avenue to go do that, right? So it made it where it was like, okay, I figured out a way to get to be popular. I don't know, like, but I'm just saying, like, it's
and you know every damn.
It's fine.
I mean, that industry is like where it will spit you out. Like it will burn you out and spit you back out if you allow it to. I mean, and it's a lot of people that, you know, I was looking at a couple of biopics, you know, that are on one of these black networks. I'm not gonna say no names, but anyway, you know, Eve was telling her story and she was just like, yeah, I was burnt out on the first tour that they went on, and she had to like cut out early, like in order to like just get her mental foundation back. First of all, touring isn't for everyone, and two, if you're getting like, you know, show after show and on the move every damn day for like a year or 8 months out of the year, you know, you're not gonna be thinking about music. You're gonna be thinking like, damn, I'm tired and this is depressive. So you know, they do that. In a way, it's kind of like a little sabotage there. Like, yeah, you're gonna sink or swim, as you know, as a music industry type recording label. You know, it's like you're gonna sink or swim. This is how a real artist does. Like, this is their lifestyle. But they gotta have time to actually, you know, formulate the music too. Everybody is not a Tupac. They're not gonna be able to just go in the, you know, studio and stay in there for 48 hours and spit out 90 songs, you know.
I think it's one of those things to where at some point in time you're exposed. You know what I'm saying? If you're an artist of some sort and you come out and you put out something and you just happen to be a one-hit wonder, but next thing you know, you put out something else and it's garbage. So you start to be exposed. Okay, well, I'm really not an artist. I just got lucky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of these cats are getting lucky.
But if you're getting a one-hit wonder and you're getting copyright, you know, royalties and different things off that one-hit wonder for life, you ain't doing too bad.
Yeah,
it's just the mindset of if you okay with that or not.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like most
some people are.
Fame is one of those situations where, you know, you get the little taste of it. No different than what's the girl now, Sexy Red, that's out there. Is that song or whatever? She got her song. She's showing up at, like, I saw a thing where she was at the Travis Scott. He was at the Travis Scott brought her out. She performed her little song or whatever. She could never come out with another song. Like, she could literally, her album could be trash and she just disappeared because it's like, are you an artist or you caught something? So and it was like, that's what it was. It could have caught the vibe, caught the wave, and then that wave could crash, and it's over. And you just go like, all right, so are you really? Do you got that pensman? Do you have that ability to produce, or is this a situation of, hey man, I just caught one, and now you have to be satisfied with catching one, and then what else are you doing? What are your other attributes that are you going to be pushing forward in? As an artist or, you know, in music or something like that. So, you know, I think a lot of women out there are, you know, like I said, taking advantage and doing the things and making money and making good songs. Like, they doing it.
I mean, keep doing what you're doing. So
keep doing what you're doing. We got mad love for you, and we want to hear it and keep doing what you're doing. And
stay fucking free.
All right. Yeah, I get. Yeah, do that. Do that.
F-R-E-E.
Do that too. Do that too. So we gonna necessary. Yeah. We gonna keep it moving for all those people that want to get younger. I saw a thing where in South Korea they just said we're gonna pass a law and make everybody like a year to 18 months younger than they were when they were born. It was kind of crazy. I was like, that's kind of wild. So the thing that's weird about this, right? So South Korea grows younger overnight after they pass this new law and the country changes how they count people's ages, right? So South Korea traditionally age counting custom considers every person 1 year old at birth and adds another year when the calendar hits January 1st, meaning a child born on December 31st turns 2 the next day. That is wild. That is a wild way to count. So one thing I looked at, I'm like, I almost get like, if you go with the, hey, from conception, you should, when you're born, no, I'm just saying, we go on the from conception, when you're born, you're already 9 months. So really, like, you should be like, you're already 9 months old, right? So then when you get to 12 months, that should be it, right? That should be your day.
You born on December 31st, tomorrow your birthday, bitch.
From South Korea. I'm glad.
I mean, but they actually changed that law. So all the people that were living in that world of like, hey man, I'm actually 89 or I'm 90. As soon as they passed this law, the mugs was 89. You know what I'm saying? Like they just, hey,
how does that work for Social Security? Like, bitch, I'm instantly good for Social Security.
Hey, you're 65, now you 64. Get your ass to work. Like, you know what I'm
saying? Right. If they had it there. I was gonna say, as a female, like that works in your favor and not in your favor in two different ways. Like, you know, you could want to be older, like when you were in your teens, you're like, oh, I can't wait till I'm older. I can't wait till I can do this and that. And so now you can tell a man, yo, no, I'm 18, but really, your ass is still 17. Now, they want to change these laws where that person is are they in trouble for dating this 17-year-old because you just changed the time? I don't know, but I mean, you could be in trouble that way. But then on the flip side, if I'm 99, if I'm 99 and I want to be 100 or I was 100 and you just made me 99, bitch, I'm mad. I'm like, you made 200. You made it to 100. Now you trying to tell me I'm really 99.
You got Betty White. You got Betty White, bitch. You 99.
Right. I'm like, you ain't about to take my age, dog. You know what I've been through to get to this shit. I'm not about to be 99 again.
Go ahead, Aaliyah. Go ahead.
No, I get what she's saying because, like you said, if I was 18 yesterday and now today I'm 17, how does that work? But in the same token, I don't think over there they have the same rules that we have. When you,
I'm pretty sure they don't, honey. You heard of slave trade, sex trafficking.
So when you get to the house at 18 and then all passed, you got to let her come back home.
Pretty much. Grandpa mad right now. He thought he had a 15-year-old. He really got a damn.
Now you got to pay child support. Another
right.
This shit.
Yeah. You in trouble.
So like, how is that going to work?
Yeah, for real.
Especially there where they're, for lack of a better word, their sex trade industry is.
So I will say this, and don't anybody Asian watching this, don't be offended. But have you seen Asian people age? That might be the reason, because they don't age too well.
They don't look their age now.
They don't age too well. So, my bad.
Well, to me, Asian people age well. Like, to me, they don't never look like they're as old as they really are. To me,
well,
but I mean,
it may be a fall off the cliff type situation. It's like there's a point where it goes from, man, that person look mad young to like, damn. That mug look like
you're 17.
Every day I wake up, I rush the mirror. I'm like, did it happen yet?
Like,
did it just happen? Woo! Okay, I'm still looking young today.
Hey, overnight, you be like, shit, what just happened?
Like, yo.
I'm like, Okay, let me rush to this mirror because I want to make sure I didn't just age them 10 years younger than I look. I gotta make sure that I'm still good.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you don't drop off the cliff. That's the whole deal. Like, I mean, that's been, you know, you got a lot of the people that, you know, like, hey, you know, so people be like, hey, man, you got good genes, or like, hey, you know how you talked about kind of like, hey, in Asia, like, seem like they stay young all the time and things of that nature. But then there's a point. Hit that cliff, man, and then they gonna be like, yo, like I'm 50, you know, 50 some odd, they hit 60, and all of a sudden it just aged all that 60 years. What? Them was like,
we all seen it. We all saw somebody last year and they looked young, like, and then you're startled because you saw them this year and you like, what the fuck happened to them? What did I miss? I mean, are they going through every type of treatment? What happened in a year? And then somebody will be like, oh yeah, you know they really 55, or you know they really 40. You know, they say some number like, I was like, nah, I thought it was younger than that. And then it's like, oh, okay, well,
y'all aged overnight. What the hell is wrong with you there? All of our legs.
Now I don't even know. I just tell them I'm 45, and they be like, "Are you?" And I be like, "Let me check my ID because."
He said, "Are you?" Said, "Are you?"
Hey, you know, D just said something that made sense because when I was overseas, same thing. A lot of the people that worked for me overseas were from India, and I guarantee you, out of 100 people, 30 people had the same birthday and year. Like, because they just make up,
Yeah.
Like, how do you? I don't know. Like, how you don't know? Because a lot of people don't keep the records that we keep.
Right.
In the US.
And a lot of people are born in places in which they keep records. Like my grandmother, she wasn't born in a hospital. My great grandmother wasn't born in, you know what I mean? So, so, you know, we say, oh, this person was born on such and such date, or, you know, that's when the doctor came to the damn, you know,
when it came to the house.
Yeah. I've been here
the first visit. The date of the first visit.
Yeah.
You saying the baby had been here like a week or two at that point, but it's not necessarily, you know, this day is your birthday, and it's not like they, like she said, tickets, records, especially in what is it? In a lot of those is real. So folks go legit. They go, you out in the damn sticks. You know, you're born. You're in your house. You're there. They celebrate. I don't know, the harvest or whatever. You know, some kind of thing there. But you know, like
the third moon.
Some 13 new moons. Is that
when your birthday? The 72nd moon of the month. Like, nigga, what?
And that's changed since 20 years ago. That's not the same date it was 20 years ago.
Exactly. Yep.
When the red moon rises, when the red moon rises, and the seas are out.
Yeah.
And the hurricane spins the wrong way.
Like, that should be everywhere now. Like,
the
you
locust
should be
fly.
able to have records in every country now. Like, that shouldn't be still the practice these days. I hope not.
There's places that still is not it. Yeah,
unless they just don't have a calendar, and so therefore they
got the Mayan
know
calendar.
what date it is.
Some people can't keep up with other people. Like India, there's too many damn people in India. You can't keep up with other people.
That's
like, when was you born? I don't damn know.
They bigger than, their population is bigger than China now. So
it's like shit. We don't know. We said we have no idea.
Don't you talk about Philly?
I said they got a Billy. I was talking about India. They got a Billy though. Billi.
Well, they got some good food. That's all I need to know. All I need to know is the masalas and the curries, and I know what I need to know.
You're just trying to eat. That's all.
Chicken biryani. That butter chicken. That's all I need.
That's right. That butter chicken, that parma. Okay, that chicken masala.
Yeah.
What the hell I need to know?
Okay.
How's the nigga that made that?
You do. Well, we gonna keep it moving for all those folks out there. I saw some new stuff out here. You know, I want to see how was your weekend is the headline on this one. The Weeknd broke Michael Jackson's touring record. The weekend after Hours Till Dawn tour became the best-selling tour in history by a Black artist with 350 million in ticket sales. Name your favorite Weeknd song, and do you feel like he's worthy? Like, should this be a big deal, or you think this is just of the situation? Like, you feel? I mean, Because I mean, I feel like that's a very prestigious record to break with the artist that was that popular at that time. I never saw human beings just pass out by seeing a person. I did see that with Michael Jackson. There was only a certain amount of artists that you saw on video. Folks passed out from seeing this person. And so it was kind of weird. Like, so now I look at the Weeknd. I happen to watch his concert, one of the older concerts, or maybe it's a newer concert on Amazon. I just waited till Starboy came on, and the other songs was like, all right, I heard that. That's great. But it wasn't like, damn, like I was like, yo, I'm gonna go spend money and do this. So I don't know. Like, I don't know.
That was like that Super Bowl that was in Tampa during the COVID year.
Yeah,
and it was like, nah.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan like that. So give me some insight. So Aaliyah, give me some insight to, is this a thing that we should be praising him about?
I will say like this: congratulations to the Weeknd for breaking that record. Right? Let's start there. And a lot of people, you have to realize that for him, at least to me, he's in his own category. He's not a rapper. He's not. I mean, he's definitely R&B. He's a singer. He is a pop star. That's his genre, if you will. Him breaking the records, I feel like, has a lot to do with his song being featured on 50 Shades of Grey. Because what happened was a lot of people got interested in the 50 Shades of Grey. And because that song was playing in the background and he did do a few remixes for it, a lot of people became interested in knowing who the Weeknd was. Once that happened and people started saying, oh, I like this song too. Oh, I like that album. Then it became, oh, now you just got all these fans that you picked up that would not have any reference as to who you were had they not heard your song on a book that they read. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was a fan of the Weeknd's before he, was merged into
Starboy came out before that though, right?
Yeah, he had songs out before this. I like his music, but then when they smashed it up with 50 Shades of Grey, so here you go, you got a whole lot of women out there who really got into this book. You got a whole subset of the population who got that life.
So you're telling me that the sex bondage genre is keeping him afloat.
I'm gonna break it down to y'all, like literally. Let me tell you, because it's very much similar to boxing arenas. Okay, back then the arena you had certain arenas. Okay, now these arenas are way bigger than they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's a little like them numbers is a little fuzzy
because population
of the fact
growth?
that you now have an O2 arena in the UK. You know what I'm saying? That was not an option back in the day. You had smaller event venues everywhere. AT&T Stadium. Nobody was having concerts back then. In an AT&T stadium in Dallas. Like, there are all these different complexes now that are like mega compounds. That was not the case when Michael Jackson was around. And also, they weren't, they wasn't keeping up with the numbers on concerts like they were on the Billboard records. Yep. Nobody is ever going to break these older guys, including like Whitney Houston. You're not going to break their records when it comes to selling albums. Is it because their albums are way better than the ones today? We could have a conversation about that. But the main thing is that people don't really buy records now. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's making it look like they're like mega stars when people in our distant future look back and they're like, wow, no, these artists here in the 80s, they was the ones that was, breaking these, records and selling platinum. And then you look here and we don't see that because, we no longer consume that
media
content in the same manner. So that's probably the real difference, is just the size of the venues are way better. But hey, Weeknd, you know what? He got himself some good Caucasian followers, honey.
So
now,
look,
I can take it to the ghetto side. And it's like Weeknd got more Caucasian fans. They spend their money for their artists in a different way than the black consumer does. Like, it's a little different. I mean, they no longer even target us. They never did. I mean, the artists now, they don't really target Black folks because they know we trying to get some stuff on the low and singing that track and doing all this other type stuff. So they mainly target, you know, to who gonna pay, who's the top selling artist now in this time period. Guys, it's country music. Country music fans, they are ride or die, honey. And they are the ones that are actually spending all their coins on albums still today and concerts, etc. So
I would say for sure. Yeah, for sure. Our album sales was probably higher in that genre, but also I would say influence wise, hip hop is always the influence wise. Just influence wise. Like I was listening to who was it? It was was it Little Baby? It may have been Little Baby album where he got like a country song on there with some dude like something Morier or something. He got some country song on there. That mug go though. I was in there like, dang, that mug is kind of nice.
I mean, let's face it, country music today don't sound like it did when I was listening to it with my grandparents.
Little Durk, that's what it is. Little Durk got because Little Durk had the song with J. Cole.
All my life.
Then he has a song "Stand by Me" with Morgan Wallen, and that mug is a straight country boy, and that mug bang. Yeah, that mug bang. I was like, oh, that's dope.
Wallen.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, Morgan.
I got a question though, for real. Yeah. So I mean, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the Weeknd sounds just like Michael Jackson in damn way. Like
that's very true too.
He sounds like Michael Jackson. I feel like
Michael.
I think of the Weeknd is Michael Jackson anyway, reincarnated. So I just never liked the Weeknd. I never liked the Weeknd because he sounds like Michael Jackson.
They have that same timbre in their voice for sure.
Right. I'm about to say his sound is very reminiscent between Michael Jackson and Prince. Like I feel like he can wave between the two.
Yeah, exactly.
He still like has his own, to me, he still has his own unique sound. Like listen to him and be like, that's the Weeknd on, you know what I mean? Yeah. On thing that he stars in or features on or anything that he's singing. Whereas you know, getting back to what we were saying about like earlier rappers, they all sound the same right now. They all sound the same, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if the water that they drinking or that lean got them sounding the same, but they all sound the same. You know, they all sound like they popped 40 damn perks. They all sound like it was left behind a couple of times. They all
got lean voice and perk voice. Like they borrow on each other's vocal cords.
I like my DMX and I like them type of rappers with that roughness in their voice. Yeah. You know, that rasp. I mean, that do something to a female.
She said you better have a voice that's close to being abuse.
Yeah.
Sound like at any time.
Like Jesus.
Yeah.
I love you though.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm about to lose my mind. All right, DMX. I'm about to lose it.
Shit, nigga. Roll over.
I'm just saying, these rappers today, like the male ones, I don't see how they have any female fan base. Because I mean, if they don't have the voice, they don't got it. I still sound like somebody little kid is rapping over, you know, kitty blocks. That's what it sounds like.
Like we can't discuss. We can't have a conversation if you high on drugs. We can't have a conversation if your pants tighter than mine. We can't have a conversation if it's hanging out the back of your pants. You ain't got no belt on, or you got a belt on and it's tied around your thigh meat. And it's like I don't understand that. That is.
What about the dresses? We got to put the dresses in there.
Oh yeah, you got the purse.
Dresses, purses, skirts.
Wearing dresses and purses, like nigga, what?
Yeah, fucking.
Some boxes are now doing it. Oh no, what they done paid you to do this?
Pentagram type rapper.
Somebody you
Turn 'em off.
in the ring and you can kick somebody's ass, and now you sitting up here saying you got a purse. Come on now.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
crazy.
Screwing up my mental capacity here.
Yeah, it doesn't match.
I don't need nobody who's fluid in their gender. I don't need nobody who's still figuring things out. I don't need nobody. I'm good, homie. Like that's
Figure things out. Like, you don't know if you like
whatever you need to go do, but I'm good over here. That's
Well,
I just grew up in the era where only people who did the things that you're doing are the ones who came back from jail and forgot that they no longer in jail. So I'm good.
Yeah. But you see that's what I'm saying. It's like, how can they have LL? He made it like he broke that barrier where it's like, I'm a rapper, but I can have female fans. Like you can't get that out of this generation here. Like there is no way you're gonna reach some type of numbers with a female fan base, and you sounded like you more timid than me. I mean, I got more bass in my voice, and I can be like, get your ass over here. And they like looking at, they like, no. That's how the music sounds.
I'm a Drake fan. I'm a fan of Drake's music. I still see Aubrey from way back in the day.
She called it Aubrey.
He's straight Nickelodeon Aubrey.
Yeah, anytime your name start with 2 vowels, bitch, you gay as shit.
I don't mind Drake, you know.
2 vowels.
You don't like AA Ron stuff?
Yeah.
You messing with? No, he said nah.
First of all, you think you're gonna raise your voice at me?
Hey, look, hold up. I'm gonna give y'all.
When you want to.
I'm gonna give you an Aubrey joint. He was very Aubrey when he brought J. Cole out at his concert in Montreal and was like saying, "Hey man, we gotta do a song together." And I'm like, "Hold up, I ain't never. If you the top artist and you like making money, like you the guy, and J. Cole like, that's crazy.
The thing I love about him though. Now, don't get me wrong, Drake is really first of all, he's like girlfriends, okay? But
no friends, but I'm gonna be on bended knee like J. Cole, please be on. Let me do a song with you.
Oh, we all know Drake was cool for that one moment when he was hooked up with Riri. Riri changed his life, had him like skipping a beat or two. But that song was everything. That work.
And where she bounced to?
She won the Grammy. I still treat her ass like a nominee, and I was just like, whoa, I'm talking about my cousin, okay?
Like Riri changed his life for a moment, so we gotta excuse Drake now, guys.
He was mad.
He's been influenced by the Rihanna. I mean, she's done made a couple guys flip out. So
the fuck up what?
Yeah, Drake
about her.
Drake of blood. You think it's
he been around? He been around maybe.
The man, Soldier Boy, thugged out.
I don't know.
Look, based on that, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next thing on top.
Let me tell you something. When BET had it in Florida, it said in the South, guy, and they said they played Soldier Boy song. I was mortally ruined. I said, "Oh hell no, they didn't." BET Award. Who is this? No, you did not. You know this is not representing the South.
You gotta claim them now.
Yeah,
that's what it is. They could have brought out Trick Daddy and all them. Like they could have kept it really real.
I
mean, I was hyped when my man when Master P came out. I was like, oh, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, JT Money, Plies. Shit, that's all type of gas. That's what they should have brought out. Plies, shit.
And they said
Plies. They had a lot of ATL audience. They could have brought out. They could have brought out a brand. They could have did a lot of things. Oh, that's right. She
one hit wonder Unk. They could have brought Unk out and just had Andre 3000 be like, walk it out. Like,
exactly, walk that motherfucker out. Okay, like I don't need to see Soulja Boy as that song being representative of the South. No, I don't.
I said take 200 food stamps over dinner with Soulja Boy.
Right.
That shit was on social media.
Say what you was about to say.
Who's pregnant? Sakura said somebody was pregnant.
Oh, Brad, the Brad was
Oh, the
pregnant.
brat
Like,
was. She had. She
yeah,
had
I said they could have
kids.
brought out the Brad. Then I said, oh wait,
Yeah, she
she
was
was
pregnant.
pregnant at
Yeah.
that time. Yeah.
She just had a little boy.
Pregnant by
Yeah.
Judy.
I mean, but she had some hits back then. I'm just saying, anybody
Yeah.
besides Soulja Boy. That's my point.
So funkified. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna keep it moving though. We're gonna keep it moving. I got a little review. I listened to King Von's album that just came out called Grandson. He had about 3 joints. This is pretty much was a drill. That's one of the categories there of hip hop now. So we got drill music out of Chicago. I think that's a Chicago thing. And real Oppie, Jealous, and Robberies were the ones that were more songs for me because they actually talked about something, told a little story, gave a little something. The beat changed up more than all the other ones that were pretty regular. But go check out King Von if you want to. Not saying it's
Well,
bad or
I mean,
anything,
I'm gonna
but you
check
can
him out
check it
because
out.
that picture is so cute.
You know, so hey, just for the album cover,
Yeah.
you can go check them out. You know what I'm saying? See what it's about. So
It's reminiscent of the Biggie Smalls album.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it is actually.
Everybody,
Yes.
yep. Same type deal. So if you do like drill, the little drill music that they that comes out of Chicago or whatnot, he's gonna give you some of that vibe, and he has a few other songs, like I said, real Oppie, Jealous, and Robberies were the ones that I did enjoy. So now we're gonna keep it pushing. So now I think we're gonna drop into a little interview session with our guest,
Let's go.
Kara Armstrong of the Boxing Playhouse Inc.
Give it up. Give it up.
Boxing
Give it up.
Playhouse
Give
Inc.
it
of
up.
the year. You know what I'm saying?
EPH.
Representing. So
Yes.
just giving a little background on you, Shakira. Give us a little background of how you even got into this and how everything kind of goes around. So talk to us.
Okay, well, to go way back, that would be my fiance when he was just like, let's just, create some t-shirts so we can have to wear, some boxing t-shirts so we can have to wear when we go to these events for boxing. I'm like, okay, cool. Then the next thing it was, oh, well, 3 or 4 more people, they wanted this shirt. So I'm like, okay, let me just do a website because you're messing up the orders. And of course, you men, you do. You messing up the order, so we had to do a website.
I still ain't get my t-shirts, Sakura. I know.
I know it, because these shirts that he designed are like $55 to be made. So when I stick that that sticker price on there of $65, nobody want to pay for it no more. But that's needless to say. We was doing social media anyway, marketing. So we had this one boxing promoter that asked us, hey, can you think you could go live and just interview some of my boxers and just tie it into our event that's coming up. So I said, okay, yeah, we sure can. I'll send you that invoice.
There you go. That's how you do it.
We did that. Yeah, we did that. And then, next thing we know, COVID was rolling in and we were getting huge numbers then when the COVID was just like, had everybody at home, basically. They ain't just home and they just bored. They looking at, whatever fancies their taste at that moment. So, we kind of rode that wave and, then it became more about appearances. They wanted us to be at these boxing events in the area. So we would start, being more present there as media and covering fights. And then we were still doing interviews as well. I also wanted to empower women in the sport because I didn't see that many women in the forefront as far as me being a female. And so I started having the first Thursdays of each month was considered a ladies' night. And we would highlight either a female in boxing or like actually a boxer, or they were in the industry as far as being behind the scenes and really contributing to these larger promotional companies, Top Rank, or they manage a boxers in the industry. We had the first lady of boxing. She was on there, which she was a part of the Contender. Like that's an example of some of the people that we go through there, on the podcast with. Then, another thing that happened was they were starting to ask me, hey, can you write an article about that? And I'm like, I don't know how to write no article. They're like, yes, you can do it, you can do it. So I'm like, all right, I'm trying to write articles. So now I also write articles covering some of these events, or covering an artist, or covering a boxer that actually achieves something that's, kind of like more of a unique or unicorn type thing to achieve. So that just is like the cornerstone of like how it just started branching out from some t-shirts that we were just gonna wear to the fights.
Wow,
That's awesome.
And
That's
then it
awesome.
ended up with us being doing commentating work at some of these events. So now I'm a what you call a color commentator at events, where I
Okay.
fights with people like Antonio Tarver.
Mhm. Oh
I
yeah,
also have
Tarver.
done that with Nate Campbell, the Galaxy Warrior. So some Mancini, a couple of big names that I've been able to actually, sit beside and just call fights, and that's such an amazing feeling, to
wow.
just know that somebody is actually acknowledging that your hard work, is paying off, and they see you. So I'm grateful.
Fantastic. That's awesome. That
That
is
is
awesome to
crazy.
hear. So that's good stuff. Big names out there and being able to do the color commentating. Were you ever really like interested in the writing part? Like, was that something that you did like in your spare time, or was it just because of this situation that you even got into writing at all?
Right. Well, I used to write music. I used to work at a music studio over in Orlando.
Mm.
And I was like the admin person. So a lot of times these guys, the artists would come in, they would need bios and things. So I ended up having to do those bios. So there was a little bit of writing, but it was more towards the music artists at that time. But as far as boxing, no, like never. And I'm not considered like, well, my mom always told me like, you should write. And I've fought it,
Mm-hmm.
And
Gotcha.
now it's just kind of crazy how that turned, full circle. And I'm now writing about, boxing, which is something I never would have thought I would be writing about.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Roz, you got anything?
Yeah, man, that's crazy. First of all, like I said, it's a blessing to have you on here. Like, we definitely appreciate you coming on. But man, so I guess my question is, because like I said, knowing you 10 years ago until now, you've grown so much in that industry. And so as a female, do you find there are a lot of obstacles dealing with the actual industry accepting you as a female reporter or a female commentator, coming in, just coming in? Because like I said, I know boxing is kind of like one of those sports to where it's male dominated, and now females are coming up. So like give us a little background on you as a female commentator, just like basically taking over with a male dominated sport.
Right. I mean, it's not only a male dominated sport, but it's a top heavy male dominated sport. And,
Mm.
of course, in the very, very beginning, when I told people what I was doing, I had gotten some laughs, and I got some people that actually were like, oh, that's right. Well, you have him to help you. Like, in other words, he's feeding me, my fiance, they thinking that he's feeding me the information on boxing when it wasn't the case. So it took like at least a year or two to get those same people, some of which are former world champions, by the way,
Mm.
to
Yeah.
get them to understand, like, nah, this is something I love now. This is something that I'm passionate about, and I don't necessarily have to have his help. Is it great to be able to have someone to bounce ideas off of? Or he's a little older than me, so his knowledge, he's more like an historian as far as he can go back further than I can, and can give me a boxer's name that I might feel basically is similar to the boxer that I'm writing about now. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So he does have that type of encyclopedia type brain with dates, event times, and all this stuff is in his head. So um when it goes further back than years wise than when I was around, then I can defer to him. But he's not like feeding me all the information like these guys had it in their heads. The other thing that is very difficult is when you're trying to branch out with the commentating, and normally they have it where they only, they're only gonna let one female in with two men, like that's their formula right now. Whereas I'm like, okay, but if there's two females that's better than one of these two men, why can't it be two females and one male? So that's something that I've been pushing for. It's like, even if it doesn't have to be me that you choose as that second female, it's the fact that you need to open up your minds to explore the fact that you don't necessarily have to have it male dominated on your commentating team. But just last night, ironically, I was watching a fight on the Zone, and it was actually Alicia Baumgardner, her undisputed title. She was defending, so she was the main event in Detroit, her hometown. And they did have it, guys. They had two females commentating and one man.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
So I am seeing some progress, but at the same time, there are still some barriers. Another barrier would be that I do have a Southern accent. You do still have people out here that feel like a Southern accent is indicative of someone that doesn't have intelligence, or like, oh, people aren't ready for that. Why not? Why they're not ready for it? I mean, I bet you they understand me better than they understand you.
You have it.
Talking the same language they talking. You're talking, too professional for people nowadays. They just want an authentic person. So I'm still fighting that particular stereotype as well. So, it's some things. Also, being African American, so it's like you have to love what you're doing or what you're pursuing. You have to love it, or else you will not be able to take some of the doors that are slammed in your face. So, due to the fact that it's like, I'm going to this event, whether you choose me to be on your commentating team or not. So, I'm going to have my fun, regardless if you actually, want to use me or not. You have to have that mentality, because eventually somebody gonna get sick one night. They ain't gonna be able to be there. Guess who gonna be there? Or it's gonna be something. Where's she at? Okay, there she goes.
She popped out.
Yeah, so it's a lot of things that can be barriers, and that goes for music as well. But you just have to be doing something that you love, regardless of where you want to be in that particular sport.
Understandable.
Or
Understandable.
music.
Aaliyah, do you have you got a question for her?
Yes, I do. Now, do you enjoy seeing the men fight more, or do you enjoy commentating on a women fight, or is it just like a fight? As long as it's a good fight, is cool, or you just
Right.
it's your preference?
It is the matchups. It's all about, the higher competition, fighting the higher competition, or, the best fighting the best. It's also, you don't want to go to a local card either and see a bunch of first round knockouts, because it's so unevenly matched. So even on that level, you want to see some type of competitiveness. So I would say it really doesn't matter if it's male or female, although in the beginning, we were watching way more men fight
Right.
than we were women, because it's only in the last 3 years that these females are starting to now get their shine and have these main events and have more television time.
Okay.
Prior to that, they would be considered on the part of the undercard that most people don't even see, because it's not the
It's
televised
entertainment, entertainment up until the main event type thing.
right.
So now, that being said, do you frequent like local gyms and stuff to say talk to not necessarily interview, but just like keep your ear out as far as who are the up and coming fighters are, like who you think who they are planning on, who they're training up to go to the next title fight, or
Right.
and I'm only asking because I grew up in the gym. My uncle was a fighter.
Hey, that's right, gym rats. That's what we call them, gym rats. I mean, and I love that, that you have that experience. But yeah, we do. We're actually lucky because here in the Tampa Bay area, there are lots of gyms. We have Winky Wright, Antonio Tarver. There's Thurman. Keith one time Thurman, he's in a gym that's like 3 minutes away from here. So we're able to go and frequent these gyms and see what's the next great talent that's out there. And a lot of times we do feature some of those talents on our podcast.
Okay, awesome.
So I got a question, Lofton. So I got before I let you get too far out of here. So on the 29th, we got coming up, we got Spence Crawford. All right, I'm gonna give you Spence and Crawford, and I was
gonna allow the guest to ask the question.
Oh, my bad, because I kind of know what she's thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we got a fight party coming up. So since Spence and Crawford, and then I think on August 5th you got Jake Paul and Diaz. I think
Nick Diaz.
Yeah. So give me some insight on what on these two fights and how you feel like they're gonna go. And I know, like say you can't, as far as you can only say so much, but as far as your insight, how do you feel about these two fights?
Both of them are going to be great for the sport. First of all, they both are giving exposure, more eyeballs on boxing that necessarily had tuned out for a while because these matchups weren't happening. So both of them are going to be great as far as on that level. The Spence versus Crawford fight, both of them are highly skilled. They both are in a position where they want to move up after they finish this particular fight. So even if we do see a rematch between the two, it might possibly not be at welterweight. It might be at like a what they call a super welterweight, or it's also known as a junior middleweight. So which is like 154 pounds as opposed to 147. So that just goes to show you that they are basically two guys that are almost grown out of that particular division. So we're going to see some power between these two guys. They're going to be ready to come at each other. Both want that title as the number one of the division after so many years of back and forth over who is better. They both want that title. It's more like it's like a classic. It's going to be like legendary because we get to know who is the next reigning king of welterweights since
like Sugar Ray and Sugar Ray and Hagler when they were fighting each other in that weight class.
I mean, the four kings, that's a whole nother topic, like, because there are four of them and there's never going to be anything like that to me in that particular division of welterweight again. But since what people are interested in right now is after Floyd's reign over that welterweight division, who is the next crop of these guys that's been there that is going to be the dominant one that we can say was the best. For me, Crawford has a little bit more tools in the basket. He can be orthodox. He can be southpaw. He can be aggressive. He can fight you on the outside. There's a lot of things that he likes to do. Errol likes for men, like he likes it when you're ready to bang with him. Like if he gets to a certain point, he's going to be forcing the action. He's going to try to make Crawford fight on his back feet. He's going to be trying to use his craftiness to try to bait him into the type of fight that will hopefully benefit him. I think that the mindset for Crawford apparently is more methodical, where he's not going to be able to see any tricks that are coming his way. So I feel like for that reason, Crawford is probably going to be the one that comes out of that fight as numero uno. He's already pound for pound number one on an ESPN list, and this has been going on for years. So it's time for him to now prove that that number one pound for pound that he's been receiving is legit. That is the actual, that ranking is correct. So that's for that fight. But you guys tell me who you got before we go on to Diaz versus Paul.
Go ahead, Hayes.
Hey, I'm probably riding with Spence. I think I've seen him fight, and like she was talking about, he got tools, man. He can do everything. It's difficult to get through the way that he fights, the way that he can switch everything. And I feel like
that's Crawford.
Was it Crawford? Oh, my bad. Because Crawford was in Kansas City, right? He's like Kansas or something like that, right?
Oklahoma.
I knew it was out there in the out there in the flats.
They both are like cowboys.
Yeah, like I've seen, you know what I'm saying? I think I've seen because Spence has been out a little bit longer as a fight, right?
He has had some injuries. That he had a very serious car accident.
Yeah.
He had an orbital bone fracture that caused him to not be able to fight Pacquiao. So
I've seen Crawford. I've seen Crawford's fights on ESPN more recently, and it's one of those things like watching him fight. It's very Mayweatherish because he's very technical, and you can see the plan working in his head as he's fighting his opponent. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, he knows exactly what he wants to do, what he wants to accomplish. There's nothing that's surprising him. He's very much like, okay, I saw the video, I watched him fight, I know he's going to do this, I'm going to counter with this. And I think like the last fight that I watched, it was very much like it was more of a training fight because he was like, oh, I know I can knock this person out whenever I want to. I'm just going to practice certain things, and then I'm going to get him out of here in the 8th round. And he pretty much did that. It was just like, all right, let's practice this. All right, cool. All right, it's time. I need to go spend time with the kid. And he just was like, he just going to do it out. And I was like, oh,
that was the Sean Porter fight. I mean, Sean Porter gave the litmus test is that Sean Porter fought Spence and Crawford. And Crawford and Porter had a 12-round decision fight.
Right.
And it was very close. Whereas when Bud decided, like when his corner told him, like, hey, you probably behind on the cards. He like, what? And then he went back out and like stopped him. Very next round. Like, it's like, okay, I didn't realize, like, and those two were friends. So he probably was just like letting them, like, have his moments and stuff. But then when he found out he was behind, he's like, oh, hell no. Like, time for me to kick it up a bit.
What you think, Aaliyah?
I say I don't know nothing about sports, but this doesn't sound like Hot Wings gonna be involved. So
oh no!
I got Crawford. Like so, I'm the same way. I kind of feel like he's a smarter fighter. And like I said, it just over the time, over time, I've watched him, and like I said, it does seem. And I'm a big MMA fighter. You know what I'm saying, in person, but
there you go.
You know what I'm saying? So and that leads me to my next question while we're talking about it. So my question to you is, do you feel like boxing is making a comeback? You know what I'm saying? Because MMA took over for a while, and then it was like everybody got into MMA, kind of left boxing, but now boxing to me seems like it's making a comeback. And I was trying to want to get your intake on that. Like, what do you feel? Do you feel the boxing is making a comeback, due to, the new talent, the younger generation coming up?
It's funny that people say that. Like the diehard fans, they've never left boxing. Now this newer generation, they like instant gratification a little bit more. And they like the fact that it's only one belt over at the UFC because there's only one company. So it's very easy to figure out who the real champion is in that particular MMA world.
True.
And then they always are fighting the best opponents. Whereas it's a lot of people that are more involved in when a major fight or a mega fight can happen in boxing. So those are the two main things that's different is like, it's not one company when you're dealing with boxing. It's I have a management team, you have a management team. I also have a management team that works with this distributor, this particular, they're working with this network, whereas this opponent is working with an entirely different network. So it's a lot more players involved when you want to make a mega fight. It's just the fact that the matchups weren't happening. There was a lot of talk on Twitter, a lot of buzz on Facebook, a lot of going back and forth with the talk game, the shit talking, but we weren't getting the actual end result, which is to actually see them fight. So people were
right.
getting frustrated with that.
Yeah.
But this year it's been a lot different, whereas these matchups are really happening. And I think one key reason that that's the case is because they're starting to see like, oh, okay, the fan, they will pay for this, but they won't pay for this
that.
shit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
so it's like, okay, we got to make this stuff happen because we're losing money now. Like we got to like give these fans kind of what they want, but these numbers got to make sense too.
Right.
So it's more effort into making it work instead of just being like, oh, well, he's on the other side of the, stream and I don't have to deal with that. Like, that fight's not going to happen right now because they work with this company and I work with this company. It's less of that. And the boxers really wanting to work together like Spence and Crawford did, a lot of conversations just between the two of them on how they could make these numbers and how they could make this fight happen. What I still would like to see more of, though, is that mentality, like we were talking about earlier with the Four Kings, for instance. They wanted to be the best. Like, it's a bragging rights to that, and it's a legend to that. Nobody cares that Roberto Duran, one of the best that ever lived, has some losses. They don't care. He's a fucking legend.
Yeah. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but sorry to interrupt, but give the people out there that are listening, like when you talk about Four Kings, like who are you talking about as the Four Kings of that particular division?
Right. Well, we got Sugar Ray Leonard, we got Roberto Duran, we got Tommy Hearns, and who was the fourth one? I'm trying to remember. Just like Hagler, Marvin Hagler.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, it's some things going on with that. Like Marvin Hagler liked to stay at middleweight his entire career. Everybody else, when you go to a Duran, he started at lightweight and stayed there for 10 damn years, reigning just lightweight. Then moved up, jumped over the next division and landed in the welterweight division, fought one fight, and then was like, we're having the Sugar Ray Leonard fight. Right after one warm up, and getting accustomed to the additional weight. And he's already like, we fighting, you know what I'm saying? I'm fighting the best. I want to know that I'm the best, or if you're the best. So these are the type of fights that they had back then. And I think that's why people are still like, I love that era. I love that era. Same with Ali in them era. They're into the fact that they wanted to fight to know who was better. They wanted to be the best.
Right.
And these boxers today, some of them do have that and some don't. They're like, I want to get paid. I need this money to come in, and I don't care if I gotta kind of dip and hide and not have this fight with you in order for me to get to this particular point in my career where I'm making more money. That's something that we're seeing more of now that we didn't see then.
More of the money.
I was looking at Mr. Ismail, and he's like, Errol. Yes, Errol is a beast in the ring. I just think that there's a lot of hidden things going on with Errol. He can be in top shape, yes, but he's also been through more wars than Crawford has. Just because he had competition available to him that Crawford did not. Does it mean that Errol is better than Crawford? No, but it does mean he's more worn, just a little bit. And then you add on that tremendous, car accident. And that you've got a boxer there that, he's ready to cash out.
Has a little more vulnerabilities. And could be more willing to be done.
Now, does he have a chance of knocking out Bud? It's hard to tell because Bud hasn't been against a power puncher in competition. He also asked the question about Errol in Mayweather sparring. Mayweather did admit that Errol had hit him with a great shot in sparring. What people don't understand about sparring is that particular day, I might just be working on my right hook, or I might be just working on my jab that day, or I could be just working on my footwork. So it's hard to gauge, you might have got over on somebody one particular day, but it depends on what the hell they were actually working on that day. But it was good publicity for Errol for sure.
Right. Yeah, made him look good.
Yeah, I got a good one on Florida. I'm the man. I'm the next one up at welterweight. So
right. Yeah,
I mean, it's still a great fight. It's just a great matchup. Period.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a great matchup. like we don't want to hold you too long, so we want to get a quick analysis real quick of what you were talking about for the Nick Diaz fight. Diaz
Oh, yes, yes,
and Jake
yes.
Paul, and then I know we had a guest or Mr. Ismail talked about this Felton fight that's
Oh,
happening
yeah,
real quick. So
Fulton, cool boy,
yeah,
Steph.
knock those out real quick, and then we gotta then we'll have to do our respect your deck. So we'll have 3 questions for you after that. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, Ismail, I'm going with Fulton all day when it comes to Inui and the monster. My thing is that's a sleeper fight. I call it a sleeper fight when nobody's talking about this fight, but yeah, it's one of the best matchups so far of this year. Maybe in the last 2 years, actually, because these two are evenly yoked. Now, what we have to realize is that Fulton is going to have to travel over to Japan to have this fight. He's going to have a lot of things against him. So, the best thing for Fulton to be able to do would be if he can actually knock out his opponent, because he doesn't want to get cheated on the cards because he's over on Inui's turf, and he definitely doesn't want to be stuck with a judge's decision that is favoring the in-house guy. So to me, that's the only way he's going to really get that decision, whether he earned it or not, is if there's some type of stoppage. Can he do it? Absolutely. I think the monster, he's been built as something great, which he does have a lot of talent for sure. But has he faced a real dog from Philly? Okay, U.S. dog.
Look.
No fighter like he's
Philly.
Don't get her hype, man. Don't get her hype.
I mean, I'm just being real. Philly fighters, they're legends. B-Hop was from Philly. There's a lot of talent that's up there still, including Stephen Fulton. So to me, it's like in his boots, Philly. You know what I'm saying? This is a fight town. They know how to train there.
He's gonna go to Japan and he's gonna show out. That's all I'm gonna say. And if they go up there and you talk about you talk about Fulton by KO or TKO late round. No, I think, like you said, it's gonna be a good fight between the two of them. And this is coming from somebody who don't know nothing about these people. It's the simple fact that he's from Philly. All I'm saying is,
guess what? That you're a fight girl, but you're a fight girl because you're ready to see that ass whooping. That's different. I have a girlfriend. She goes with me. She supports us as a business, but she's like, "Oh my God, somebody stop it! Oh, this guy's really hurt." Like, no, she don't want to see that part. But when you're vicious and you want to see the ass whooping, that's you.
to fight until you blood. It is not, don't stop the fight until you see blood or somebody got hit so damn hard you can see him doing one of them numbers and then
Yeah.
Yes.
You're the wrong person.
Yes. Okay. But anyway, that's the deal with Fulton versus Inui. It's a sleeper fight, and it's coming on like a Tuesday morning because they're so, the time is so far off, but it is worth getting up early to see it. Now, just real quick, Diaz versus Paul. I got Paul winning this one. That's a big boy. Now, that is a huge.
Yeah, they're fighting at like 185 or something like that.
Yeah, they're cruiserweights.
Yeah.
So, first of all, that's a big boy, even at his weight class. Even if his opponent is the same size as him, he still is a very strong, a strong individual. He has that extra. So for me, people talk shit about him. Oh, he don't know boxing. Oh, this and that. But guess what? What he does have is true power. This has actually been confirmed in several fights. He has knockout power. Will Diaz be able to handle that? Absolutely not. He has more MMA experience, which does include some disciplines of boxing. Don't get me wrong. But you aren't fighting anywhere near that type of weight in real life as an MMA fighter. So you're now going to add on all this weight and go up there to this man's playground, and you think you're going to have success.
I can't wait to happen. If it happens.
Yeah, he gonna get knocked out. So Paul gonna handle business. Good stuff. But just like every person that we have for an interview that is on our show, with it being about the culture, about the hip hop, about R&B, about music in general, we always have to respect your deck. You know what I'm saying? We gotta respect the interviewee's dick. You know what I'm saying? And what that means is we ask you like 3 questions. So we're gonna ask you a question about what's your favorite song. We're gonna ask you a question, what's your favorite artist, and what's your favorite album. So you know, you can kind of, if you want to have it swim around in your mind a little bit, it'll be something like, hey, you're on the desert island question. You know what I'm saying? And you're deserted, and what are the ones that you're taking with you? So we'll start out with your favorite artist. So give it to us. What is your favorite, your number one artist that you would that you give us here at the Mid Ketchup Podcast?
You know what? I was listening to a lot of things the other day, and I actually landed on Frank Sinatra.
Ooh,
No.
Sinatra! No, look at that!
I'm gonna tell you, like, I have to go there because Frank was singing in his regular tone voice. He was unmotherfucking bothered, and still sounding
let's go, Frank.
Classic, amazing. Have you ever heard anybody else with a voice like Frank Sinatra? Close, but not like they're forcing it a little bit more. Frank Sinatra was singing in his regular tone, y'all, and was chilling with his drink in his hand, Rat Pack style, and these amazing tones. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like a bunch of runs and things like that. For me, it's just the tone of somebody's voice that really makes me feel a woman.
Hey, that's a hey, look, and I'm gonna say, hey, you the first one that dropped the Frank Sinatra on it. You know what I'm saying? So Frank Sinatra, welcome to the show.
And the lyrics. Like, the lyrics. He was always trying to woo a woman in these damn lyrics. I'm telling you, like, he's always talking about what he need from you. You know,
when he gaze upon the stars. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Sound like we got a panty thrower on the show.
You know what I'm saying?
Gene know what I'm talking about. Okay, he said another word. He's like another words.
I'm saying another word.
He's
a beast.
Okay, that's number one. But I do have an anthem that I hear in my mind when I get ready to go into some of these events. As a female and probably sometimes the only female. And,
yep.
You know that Eve song, Who's That Girl? I like that one. And I also do the Eve song where it's Shake Your Tambourine. Hey.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to get a crowd hype or something, I hear these type of songs in my head, you know.
There you go. There you go. So we going that with your favorite song?
Dang, I gave you 3 songs right there. So
it's like 3, so we need one of them. You can pick one of them.
I'm gonna go with Fly Me to the Moon, Frank Sinatra.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so we got Fly Me to the Moon, famous Frank Sinatra. We got Frank Sinatra as the go-to the guy. And now give us your number one album.
Oh my goodness. There are a couple of albums that I used to listen to in college and I could just listen to them front to back. Number one was Mary J. Blige. That was the damn jank. My Life. Okay, My Life. Okay, if you look into and see what I see.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I played that front to back. Yes. But then I also was listening to like Roots, their album, with the Afro.
There you go.
It out like on the cover. I can't
remember.
Yeah, that one was pretty dope too. And it was, guess what? It was more music, instrumentals than it was actual lyrics. So
Black
it can happen.
Still get busy though.
Yeah,
so, I mean, he was doing his thing.
Exactly. And then one more would be Biggie Smalls. And he had that dope thing when I was in college where the baby was on the cover. Okay,
so ready.
But he had that song called I'm Going Back to Cali. When you go back and listen to that damn song and you're like, whoa, that is so cryptic. Like, you're like, just listen to the lyrics and just the fact that, the irony of what really happened and how he passed away. Like, dog, you just be like, whoa.
One of those things for sure. So we got Frankie Sinatra, Rat Pack Frank. We got Fly Me to the Moon. And we had 3 albums? We got Mary J, Biggie, and the Roots. So I mean, that's all classics right there. So once again, everyone, hands up and claps and applause for Boxing Playhouse's own Shakira Armstrong.
Let's go.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I'm
Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you.
That question really should be like, per decade, because each decade you got a different
I mean, it becomes extremely long if we start breaking it down.
We never have Frank. Is he the Nas?
Yeah.
Nas is on my list too. He's my favorite rapper for sure. Like all the rappers, I loved what he was rapping about.
Yeah. So we got one more. So I'm gonna say we gotta knock this out in about 2-3 minutes. We got one more little deal. What you think about this? So Rajim, go ahead, give it to us.
This week's What You Think About That is brought to you by LGI Fitness. Let's get it all day. If you don't feel like doing it, do it anyway. Let's go. So check this out. So this week's what you think about this? We're talking about the woman or man that won what country was that?
It was Miss Netherlands. Netherlands. It was a trans model and doctor that was crowned Miss Netherlands. And
the transgender was crowned Miss Netherlands to go to the Miss Universe. So I want to know what you think about this. So we're gonna start. Matter of fact, we'll start with Aaliyah. Aaliyah, so you got a transgender male that won the Miss Netherlands competition. What you think about that?
I support the LGBT.
You said I will not be attacked.
She's fucking it up already, y'all.
With all my heart and all my, I call them my babies. All my babies know that. But this has got to stop. This has got to stop. It has got to stop. It has got to stop. The whole premise behind being Miss anything is being a damn Miss. I don't know, 40th damn Market Street. I'm just saying, like, you say that because there are features that a woman has. There are features that trans women will ultimately get because of the hormones that they're taking. So now we start looking at things like, we all know the Miss Anything competition is based on looks, because half of them don't got talent. Nobody cares about their talent, I should say. But 9 times out of 10, it's based on looks. And if you're going down a list of things that your Miss USA, Miss Netherlands, Miss World, whoever is supposed to have, she got to look like this. She got to look like this. How do you start incorporating features of a trans woman or a trans however they're identifying as? I don't understand how that works. Like, I don't get it.
Do you feel in, at least in this situation? And then I would say the thing is, like, as of sports and competition that are relative to a specific gender, you feel that it is taking away from those that have biologically arrived at this, and it's not a mentally arrived at this?
Because now you're looking at, that's like Kate Jenner winning like woman of the century or woman of the year or whatever. How does win here because she got a sex change? That's trash. You know what I'm saying? You have women who have fought to be where they are, women who in this particular case, because you ain't gonna tell me half them damn people don't have eating disorders, but you have women who have shimmied themselves into this body. You have women who have literally put forth,
but a lot of them got fake asses too and fake breasts. Like,
yes, it is expensive. I wish somebody would come in here and talk about some trans woman, somebody who used to be done won the competition that I've been literally have been fighting 6 damn years, 7 years to get into to winning all these sidebar competitions. Then all of a sudden they come in here and they win. That's bullshit. I'm out. I quit. Okay.
Wow, calm down,
All right, ma'am. All right. So Aaliyah, we're gonna check since we now have another female on the show.
Sakura.
Let's talk to me. Give me your perspective.
I mean, Aaliyah did make some great points, and a song came to my mind. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
I love how you stand with the music podcast style. Let's go.
Okay. Ain't nothing like the real thing. But if we're being honest, some of us real women, we are not accepting of our own damn bodies. We're going out and we're getting just as much plastic surgery and different things inserted into our body, just like these transgender people. And the thing of it is like inclusivity is important. They're doing what we did, what our parents and grandparents did when Black people weren't accepted or allowed to be in these competitions. They didn't feel like we had the right type of beauty. We didn't fit the mold. Let these people have their damn moment and trance all over their damn stage and look just as beautiful as the women. If that's what they see their calling is. A lot of us ain't never gonna be in no damn universe contest. I did have the luxury of being into like a city one that it was like a Miss America, but it was, you start out on the city levels before you go to the state level to see who's gonna beat state.
Yeah, my daughter.
And there were other things that they were interested in, like you had to have a cause. Mm-hmm. You had to be about something besides your damn self.
Some type of talent.
Yep. Yes, then you did have to have a talent. Mm-hmm. Then you did have an interview session so they could see if you actually were able to represent and talk a certain way, being a presenter to people. And then you had the beauty part, which was the swimsuit and the nightgowns. Mm-hmm. So
they had nightgowns.
Yeah, they have a nightgown. Yeah, you had a nightgown competition as well.
That's my boy one.
And I wasn't but like 15, by the way, when this happened to me. Like, I'm like, this is overwhelming. Like, these people are sitting up here judging me on my looks. And, I did have a talent, which was singing. Mm-hmm. So I passed that part. But then what it really came down to, and I'm going to tell y'all the real tea, is who family got the most fucking money. That's the motherfucking bitch that's going to win. So regardless if she comes and she's transgendered or not, guess what? That money reigns. Whoever got the most backing, the most sponsorships, the most money behind them, they will take that crown. So let the damn people have their damn representation. Let everybody get lamented to the fact that they are just as important as our Black folks, as our Latinos, as Native American, all these different ethnicities and minorities that had their moment in time to get people used to them being around. Let them have their moments. Don't even say it, because yes, we know we had no choice in what complexion we are. We did not have a choice. That is a big difference, but they still have to have those same type of civil rights moments that we had as a minority. So leave them alone. And are you really going to care who's damn Miss America, Miss Universe, period? I mean, the numbers are probably like down to like, I don't know, 20 million now. Nobody is watching that shit that much now. I'm just being honest. Like,
true that.
Let them have a moment.
What about? I mean,
let me. Bet y'all didn't think I was gonna say that, huh?
No. The thing is that I've always been kind of. It's just so. I don't.
It's a slippery slope.
Because the thing is that at this point it doesn't affect me, right? So I'm not in a situation where my daughter's running track and all of a sudden there's a transgender on her, she's competing against, and this person is running a second faster than them, and it's literally discouraging and taking away the possibility of confidence in my daughter, because now this person's able to destroy them due to advances or hormonal advances.
But that could be construed as a little sexist to feel like A regular man can get their ass beat.
No, you saying regular. So if we're going into competition,
yeah, like I'm saying, a man could be. I'm saying a female could actually be faster than a man. Period.
If we're going into competition on
a genetically female, a genetically not engineered female.
Let me start.
But I'm just saying.
Let me state. You said a regular man versus a woman that has been in competition. You were not saying, "Hey, Crawford, fight this other boxer that is a professional female boxer." And now, if you say those two together, would you be like, "Hey, I'm putting my money on the female"?
I mean,
you're not. So okay. So anyway, you're not doing that.
I wouldn't say that they would be able to be. But no, I'm not saying it because of their genetic makeup. I would be saying it because I think Crawford is a better skilled fighter.
Well,
remember when we were talking about that, I mentioned who had the better tools in the toolbox.
I understand that. So the thing is,
I know. But it's funny you said that because there is a situation that happened like that in boxing.
But I know that there was a female that had gone to my high school. She got a scholarship to Purdue. Their team won, like the high school female team won the state championship. They're really good. She came back and played open gym with the boys. She was a beast. I couldn't play with her because guess what? I'm 5'6". I'm regular. I ain't go nowhere. I'm not nothing. So for me, competition wise,
why you gotta change the people now?
You came out here, you doubting yourself to make your point. That is never good.
No, hold up. So because this is the thing.
You can win that fight.
This is the situation. No, this is the situation. You have to put people that are relative in the situation. If you say professional basketball, if there's a female that's a professional basketball player, should I be able to beat them?
No.
Because you're not a professional.
Right. So shouldn't they be on the same time?
But a professional basketball male player could absolutely get his ass kicked by a professional female player.
But what we're saying is that's like if
this is my situation. I'm going off of
the movie Joanna Man was exactly this. Joanna Man, aside from the fakeness of it, Joanna Man was a male basketball player who couldn't make the cut.
Aaliyah, you just told your age so bad.
Yeah, she did.
Wait. Why are you mad? Because we old.
Inherent difference between male, female, and I don't care what you do to your hormones. I don't care how you doctor them up. At the end of the day, you're male or female, and you males entering the female industry as is females entering the male industry. It's going to it's a sense of it is unfair. It is. I'm not going to use the word improper. I understand where you're saying that let them have their rights. It says civil rights in the whole 9 yards. I get it.
Yeah, but it's just about being present. It's about being seen so that people get used to the idea that they're a part of our society. But they only make up about 2% of our population overall. So it's like, why are we even talking about this?
Because it would be transgender women or transgender men, however you decided, then yes, that would be a fair competition. But to introduce a man who at best is genetically enhanced in a woman's competition and then tell them, oh, you won because you're the most beautiful woman. He's not even a woman. Well, you know what I mean.
Okay, I'm gonna put it to you like this though. I mean, if they were to not allow any plastic surgery or any type of enhancements from the females in the competition, then I would say no, the men shouldn't be in there. But as long as these women are getting the same type shit done that these daggone men are doing,
well, that's a different story. So that's a different story.
But it's reality. I'm just saying what's going on.
That's a different angle in changing the thing. Because you go like, hey, if nobody is doing any enhancing, right?
Right. And it's
if nobody does any enhancing at all, besides, hey, I work out, and they say, hey, the person that says that meaning that the person that is going through whatever change They can't even go through their change stuff. So when they show up, guess what? That person can have a beard and everything else. I'm like, hey, I'm a woman because I can't take the pills.
But I'm saying if you're gonna make it equal, then it should be like nobody's doing enhancements. But the reality is, everybody in them competitions are doing some type of enhancements.
This is true.
So
anyway, hey, so now I know what y'all think about that.
You need to take up for me. Look, Regime, you need to take up for me.
You did it
because it's true.
You made the show longer.
Hey, now I know what y'all think about that.
Well, based on that situation, it's about time to get up out of here. But I got one more thing to say. Hey, if you have any issues or you're having any problems, make sure that you talk to your family. Make sure that you talk to your friends. And if you can't find a friend or a family member to talk to, please hit up the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-TALK, 800-273-8255. Everybody wants you around. You can overcome. You just need to make sure that you talk to somebody and be able to help you out and get you to the right place and where you need to be because people want you to be around. The world is not a better place with you gone. It's always a better place with you here. So you are a contributor and people love you and people want to wrap their arms around you and make sure that you're okay. So with that said, that's the last thing that we got, man. It's been a longer Men Ketchup podcast right now.
So Sakura, hey, tell everybody where they can find you at, where they can find your podcast at when you are broadcast, everything.
Well, Lofton can find me at
I'm already on it. I got the website up right now. I can give you me to read it for him?
Lofton can find me on Heavy Bag Boxing on Tuesday nights. They have a podcast called Tough Talk. So I'm one of their guests frequently every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then on Wednesday, it's Latin America, baby, where we talk about boxing with our number one host, which is Danny Santiago. He's in Colombia right now living, so he has a different perspective and a pulse on what's going on in Latin America as far as boxing. He's also a Florida Boxing Hall of Famer and a number one contender, so he has that experience of being a boxer that he brings to the show. Then Thursday nights is After Dark series, and that's where you get Sakura and Emilio Santana, and that's when we talk about all the hot topics as well as whatever guest wants to join us for that particular night in the boxing world. And of course, we have our website, www.boxingplayhouse.com. We do need you to subscribe so you can actually get a notification when I do my articles. And of course, you got IG, Twitter, and YouTube channels, Boxing Playhouse. And then on Facebook, it's Playhouse Entertainment. Because them devils took my damn site, y'all. Facebook took my site with all my millions of reach. And so we're having to build it back up again. So if you're wondering where we're at, we're on Playhouse Entertainment now.
All right. Fantastic. All right. So everybody out there in the Men Ketchup world, go out and check them out at Boxing Playhouse Inc. I'm out there on the website right now checking it out. It's fantastic. Boxingplayhouse.com, online boxing magazine is fantastic. So we really appreciate you coming through. I really appreciate my co-host, Rajim, in the building. And of course, the perspective of Leah. It's been fantastic. It's been another wonderful episode of the Men Ketchup podcast. We're going to see y'all next week out here. We're going to do the daggone thing. See y'all then. And we out.
We got a Lee in the building. Mr. Make It Happen.